Oh, welcome back, everybody. Green the Farmer here. We're going to continue working on our bay door for my factory build here. I was just pushing the wrong buttons. I'm working earlier after I got off work, just working on the display sign. So not sure if I'm liking. I did the text different. I basically just did it in Excel and then copied it out and then took all the white out to make it a see-through, but it's looking a little, I don't know, the delete tool left a lot of, I don't know, made it look blurry, but it might be the size. But anyway, we'll see what it looks like in game maybe. Might not get to that today, but we'll see. So if you remember, over the weekend we were working on a bay door to go in down at this end of the buildings. Let's get over there. So these two black sections here. So we're working on a 4 wide using one of these doors, bay doors, as a reference for the width. So we're working that on Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to go back and check my VODs. So yesterday we ended off with about, I think we were on keyframe 50. And I spent another 4 hours last night finishing it off, and I'll show you what it looks like at the final product. So I saved you 4 hours of watching me put in keyframes, every keyframe from 50 to 120, and it looks pretty good. It's well worth taking the time. So I saved you not having to watch that tedious repetition part. So I'm just double checking, making sure that all the door is actually attached to the bones. If you remember, we had to make sure that when the door opens, but as you can see, it looks pretty smooth. Probably very close to realism as we can get for the door. And I'll probably end up taking these out because the frame doesn't need to be part of like we have the frame in here just so we can make sure that the door tracks, but it's not actually part of the animation file that's going to be built from this. It'll just be the door itself. And then we'll go in and create the door or put the frame in there. So before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm going to take these out just from from the project so far. The doors, all the bay doors, I've had to make some sort of adjustment to the height of this bracket. So might as well just take the bracket off and then I can put in whatever I want depending on where I use it. So that's where we're going to start off today is pause this and go back. Since we have it highlighted, I think that's one. Let's just do that while I'm thinking of it. So let's just take that. I want to do, oh, we're not in skeleton view. Nope, nope. Okay, I just want to make sure it didn't do anything to the frame itself. I don't think so. Okay, so I did that while I was thinking of it. what I need to do is go back to my notes. Okay, um, so what we want to do now is go back to our list here. We don't need our frame that we're clicked on right now. We need to go back to creating the bones. Select, no, not all of them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, we've selected all of them. Okay, so we've selected all our bones, and you can see because most of the, um, there was no rotation happening till about 30 seconds on all of them, but the first one pretty much really didn't start to rotate. What Blender's going to do now is going to fill in all the gaps. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to select them all. We're going to go back into pose mode. Now I want to make sure I have them all. So I have all, you can see now it has all 9 bones. And what it's going to do is we're going to make it fill in the gaps. So we go under pose, we go under animation, and we'll want to bake them. So this is going to pop up. And I remember last time I just left it as 1. On the doors, like the animated doors that I did or showed off the other day, we had it in 5, and it works just fine. It's smooth enough. But for the bay doors, because of all the rotating, I left it. I put it in as 1, so that way it's not, like I said, all of the keyframes that Blender's going to fill in are all these blanks, and we know from watching the animation, all it's doing is moving straight up, so it should be fine. Just looking, I don't think I have to do animation bake action. I don't need to change any of this, so we'll just go okay. And you can see now it's filled in all of the animation. So if we were to click on it, we shouldn't really notice any change. Okay. So from there, we need to name this. So we need to rename the animation file. So this action file needs to be unique. Um, and I'd have to look at the XML. I think I put like 12 or the 3 meter part in there. Just bear with me. I'm just using my other screen. I hope if I'm looking at the door. So yeah, I called it bay door 3 meter source. So this one I'm going to call bay door 12 meter because it was just 12.1, I think it was, underscore, and then source. So that's naming this is the actual animation that we'll use in the XML to reference this animated file. And then we also have to name this armature. So again, I'm not sure what I named it. What else have I used here? So I think I can get away with just doing the bay door 12 meter again. No, it's been used already. Yeah, right here. And I don't. Okay, good. That, that, okay, so that's fine. Okay, so now what we need to do is under the file, so I'm going to copy that one and we're just going to change it to 12. Okay, and then we're going to take, and if we look, the actual door itself is in part of inside this animation section. So if we look down, we linked it when we added the armature, but way back at the beginning of all this. So when we want to export this out, we need to select the hierarchy. So it's going to select the bones and then also the physical door. And then all we do is export it out. It doesn't take too long. I've had stuff take longer, but we'll wait for the little message that it's exported. So 9.5 seconds. Okay, so then we're gonna go check it out and it should be in here. Bay door, probably at the bottom. Uh-oh, where did we save it now? Where did we save it? Where did it go? I didn't check the path. I just assumed it was going to be the same path. Let's go check the path. Where was this going? Oh, it went into textures. Okay, it went where the Blender file was. So that's fine. Let's just change this and save it again. That way we have it. So we want it in here. Rather, I could copy and paste it out of the other place. But let's just make 2 copies of it for now. Oh, faster the second time. Okay, so we're going to open it up. This is really big. The shapes file. That's why my factory's going really big. I look down to where's the factory? Where's the factory? Oh, Machina. So if you look at the shapes file here, it's because of my doors. Oh, they're going to be huge. Where did it go? Where did it ever open? Oh, there it goes. Oh, why does it always make 2? I did this last time too. So if we look, all of these, and if I click on them, all of these are this, like I said, these are all the 9 bones. So we have 9 bones, and then we have the bay door, and then we have a duplicate. So the duplicate goes away. I don't know why it makes the duplicate. So if we want to check this out, we just highlight it, and then it brings up the source file so you can see where we named it. And then we click on it. Okay. So we could just keep this by itself, but what I did with the other door was I brought in the frame. I put collision. Remember, we did all those screws. So all those screws need to be brought in individually, separately. So that's what we'll be doing next. So go back to our thing here. So we don't need to see this anymore. Minimize that. So we have all of the, we can, let's, I don't know which one I want to do first. That doesn't really matter. We can do the collisions. So the collisions, I already spent the time, I think, when we did this the other day, so I got them named. I think they all have a fake material attached to them. And all I want to do is make sure that I don't send them to the same spot. So I don't want to send them to that file. I have one that I like to use. So that's my one that I overwrite all the time. So I have these 9 and we'll just highlight them all. And we can actually go in and set up some of the stuff. I just can't remember. So we want collision on this. They're moving, so we need to make sure that they're movable. On the rendering, they're non-rendable. And I think that's it. What else do I have? I don't have any of the other ones open. I'm gonna have to open up the other one and see what else I can put on this. It's not an includer. I don't think it needs the cache shadow, but there's I'm not sure if there's a one of these on here. Let's do that now because I'd sooner do it if I can do it now. I try and save myself time. If there's any settings I can export with them already attached rather than going back through and on 9 different pieces, I have to then go in and do all their settings individually. So if I can set them all up before I export them, that's what I like to do. Okay, and like I said, for the single one, it's funny, almost looks like a funny angle. If we expand all, you can see the screws and all that get added. So there was only 7 sections. So so it was the clip distance never got changed. Static, like I said, it's collision, and this is the default, so there's nothing there. And oh, it does cast shadows, non-rendable, and all that stuff. Okay, so oops, for the door. So we leave it at 55. And it does cast a shadow stuff. So we apply that to all of those. We go back to here. We make sure our file's still there. Export them. And you can see how much faster it is there. So now we go into here. And now we're going to import them all. And because we spent the time to name them, when we bring them all in, it's easy to just drag and put them into each of their corresponding sections. Okay, we'll do a save, try and save as we go. Okay, so we don't need those visible anymore. Let's do all of the screws now because they're the same way. So again, I'm just going to double check. I don't think there's anything there, but I want to take off anything that's, so there's no, obviously there doesn't need to be any kind of collision on those. The other thing I wanted to look at, there's no shader file attached to these, right? No. And there's no there, and then there's shapes. So just normal stuff, okay. can't even see them until they're highlighted. And they're only on the one side of the door. Yeah, that's fine. The screws, the frame screws are there. Okay. Wait a minute. Why? I just why aren't they Oh, because they're not a physical. Okay, there's no collision on. That's why they don't need the. Why they didn't need the to make a movable kinematic. I think it's called this one here, the kinematic. Kinematic. Okay, so for the same thing, import, and we do the same thing. Now I remember, if I remember just now, all of the collisions were invisible, which even though we've selected as non, I believe they're all non-rendering, right? They're visible, but under here we have them as non-rendable. I don't think it matters if we have them visible or not. I was just obviously copying whatever Giants had on the original when I did this before. Oh, well, that's not good. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. Okay, so what I'm just pointing out is the scale. You can see Giants doesn't like scale for certain pieces, doesn't like it. So also the rotation is left on, so I don't want to leave any of that. I usually reset it all to ones or zeros so before I export it. So let's just, again, it's always the beauty of having the original. It's easy to fix stuff when you point it out, but I wish I'd caught that before. I didn't even notice that. Everybody in chat help today to help me remember all this stuff. So I also wasn't. I thought I just saw one that had. So what was it that got? Okay, well, I'm not too sure. Something was rotating it. I thought I saw one that was rotated 90. And the good thing is these are already all those settings that we customize are already going to be done. Or saved, I guess, on them. Hey, Farmer Marks, how's it going? Come back to watch the finale. Did you miss? You missed all the animated part. I got it all, finished it all last night. Took another 4 hours. Not too bad. The work was busy, so the day went by really fast. So couldn't wait to to finish eating and then start on this. So right now, we've exported the animation file, and all I do now is I add in some of the other pieces, so I don't have to. And when I pull this into Giants Editor, it's all finished. All I have to do is the XML part to it. Okay, so next piece we'll bring in, I guess, is some of the frame, so we can hide the collision. And the same with the frame. I think I did the frame with, no, I didn't put any kind of rigid body on it. Okay, that's cool. Screws. Okay. And then lastly, we'll bring in that top, the spring and the, oops, the spring and the screws. And now, because this piece I have done correctly, I think, compared to the other door, I didn't set up the, so this one we can actually, if we want to, actually do the way Giant set it up with the animation. So if we were to go in, and as the door is going up, it's going to rotate. Like I said, you wouldn't see it. You'd never see it because the door, as soon as the door starts going up, it actually blocks it. So to me, it wasn't. It was a detail that really didn't need to be there because it, like I said, it gets hidden right away. But to make, I think it's fine because it's not collision again, and it has the screws. And there we go. We have one 12-meter wide door with working animation. So in mine, the pallets, yeah. Well, all the products coming out, yes. Going in, almost all of them. I don't have, actually, sorry, no. If you spawn them up, you'll see the palettes, but I can't do the palette visuals because we don't have access to the DLC, right? This factory is making all of the the forest DLC, so we don't have access to those palettes. Like we can call them and reference them, but we can't do the visuals like Billy's done and all the other ones. So the in products, like it's using planks, the wool, glue, nails, stuff that Dave's done. We can put. I'll have visuals for that, but planks long, I don't have access to it. We could probably play around with like the planks palette and make one a little bit longer and fudge it if I wanted to. But I'll wait to see. I'm starting to get concerned about my size of the factory and the size of the file, and I haven't even finished putting in this door. But I noticed it earlier when I was looking at when I exported it out. So the shapes file is already half of what this is never going to go to console, obviously, but there's already a warning on the what is it? What building is that? The Akalo, whatever building. It has two shapes files, and they're over the 8,000. It gives you a warning after 8,000. So this is only the door, not including what the factory would have in its shapes file. So I already have a warning in my log because of the shapes file being over 8,000 kilobytes. And I haven't even got like half of the build factory in there yet, shape wise. Like it doesn't even have building one in it, which has all of those office desks and everything, which is just going to add more. And then we're just adding two of those doors that we just did, which is going to add another 8,000. So I don't know what that does to the game at all. Maybe Dave would know. I don't know. But it is just a warning because of the size of the file, but I don't know what it does to the game. I know the triangles have an effect too, but I think I'm doing pretty good for triangles. But that's our door. Oops, I keep pushing the wrong button. So all I need to do now is just to make sure that all my I didn't look at my it's Blender does sometimes it does a really good job at continuing to keep all the textures matte. Sometimes it flips a couple of them, so those are fine. The screws didn't work. Oh, why did the let's go look at this because I didn't even look at our screws. So the screws didn't yeah, that's the screws. I have no idea. I brought them in separately. Why would they have the collision on them? See, it has its own. Blender just really gets me sometimes. I just don't get it at all. See, like it's not. Um, where's it putting that file? Oh, down here. So it's here. It's got no files attached to it. Why? It doesn't like the This exporter, i3 exporter, doesn't like some of the stuff Blender has in it. I heard that they haven't updated this in quite a while, so I wonder what it's not liking about this. Do I have this going? Yeah, it's going to in-game. How did I figure this out? That's why. So that's the screws. And I'm noticing it's not bringing any file over. Well, that was not help. That one doesn't have it either. I'm just looking for an example without grabbing one of the other ones. Yeah, it's like it's not even recognizing that there's something attached there because it's adding that. Um, so tedious sometimes when, like I said, the exporter just, I don't know why, it just doesn't like keeping some of the textures mapped. I have to kind of pay attention. I'm wondering if it's when I link it to in-game ones or it doesn't matter. Is it going to give me some errors that it can't find any of this stuff? No, no. Okay, and it doesn't map any of them. That's cool. Now I just have to go find them again. I need to create shortcuts one day. One day I'll get smart and say create shared assets. I'm getting pretty good at finding them right away though. So we want that one for the diffused. I got so much stuff open in this thing. My computer's just going, what are you doing to me? Close and stuff. I got the game running too. I have it because I wanted to. I wanted to check out all the palettes to see if I can add any more master boosters. Because right now all I did is add wrapping to everything. Okay. This is all this just to get the screws to work. And now I'm back in the wrong file. Oh my god, it worked. And that's this one. And we delete that one. I better not have to do that for every single one of them. So as long as so that's fine. Okay. I don't want to. I don't want to go and map them again. I just want to see if this. I'm just going to see if this will work. Because it has the right material name, so it should find the rest, or should map up once I bring it into. Nope. I just don't know what it's picking up and why it's changing it. I'm wondering if it's these things. Because those might match and it might think it's the wrong material. Let's just try that before like I said, the mapping always takes so long. Going back and remapping everything. Okay, so it worked, but it still didn't map up the rest of the stuff again. Painful. Be easier for now if I had everything together because I wouldn't have to do it 3 separate times. Okay, I didn't keep it open. But this is what I want the mapping. So like now I have that there. I said too much is open. It's this one. Where did it go? So I need those 3 files. Well, what's still open? That's what's still open. It's funny how it doesn't ask to save. It didn't do it. Oh, it's not linking to the materials again. That's what it is. I didn't copy this piece down too. wonder if it'll work this time. So it's definitely, it's because of the values there, but it's like, again, why they're right here, right? It's the same material. It's just not referencing it, matching them, lining them up. So now, for some reason, now they're all fine. Oh, I know we can just have it work smoothly. You know, the door animation worked fine, and then it's all the other stuff that's. There we go. So now we can just see our little screws at the end. So this one door already adds 26,000 triangles to the. There'll be two of them. Save. So now what I need to do is I need to um, get this door into Blender so I can have the exact size opening, right? That's what I need to have. And I think when I did it last time, I used the frame, or I put it all as one, and it was really hard to figure out exactly where the door was versus the frame. So I think I'm going to do the door. First. So to get something out of Blender, we want to export it out. We don't care about all of the texture files or anything because it won't come out in the OBJ. So again, need to go find my file. And I've been putting everything in prefab. You can see a lot of these files are like the made this folder is huge. It's bigger than the map right now. And that's because of the Blender file. The Blender file is over, last time I looked, it was over 400 megabytes just for the Blender file. So it's funny how the Blender file is so large and then the i3Ds are so small in relative. Um, And we don't need the rest of it, we just need the construction part. Okay, and then we go back to our game. I don't think I even have a door. Oh, I'm in building 1, that doesn't help. 1, 2, 3, 4, we're in building 4. Okay, so we have that there. Like I said, there's a solid door here, and then we had the 4 doors in here for, well, we have the side one, and eventually there'll be some on the back too. And then we have 1 through 8 are those doors. So we want to be in here, and we want to import, and is it not remembering where I went? So we want bay, let's do the frame first. Import, it's going to put it over here somewhere, wherever my zeros are right now. Import the door. Okay, so let's go over there. I was thinking of, I can grab both of these, and they're facing the right way. That's awesome. I don't need to rotate them. Let's get rid of these because they're just gonna be in the way. I don't need this anymore. Do I not have my little, I don't know why it'd be turned on. Oh, because I was using it in the other, you have to turn it on for every, I have multiple versions open, right? So frame, I want to turn off, get out of the way. You can see why keeping everything organized in groups into collections makes it so much easier when you start getting in here and start doing this. The other one thing I want to do, actually, let's see how we're doing for, should be pretty good for not being below the surface. Oops. Okay, so it is a bit below. Did I not turn it on? I did. Might not be snapping because of the 2 pieces, I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go above again. And I don't think I need to get rid of that. And I haven't got an actual door frame put in yet, like trimmed out piece. So I know I was running into problems with it popping through. I'm guessing the door trim piece is in building 3. Oh, and building 7 is causing lots of disturbance in the background. There we go. Okay, so we can see our technically our ground level. All the building walls all go below the ground. Just it would just happen to be the way I think I set the plane up higher after I built all the buildings, but that was too many months ago. I don't remember. So now what we want to do is obviously this is our door trim piece, and we're going to make it the width of the door. So we want the Y to start increasing, and that's going to take too long. And I notice it's also adding thickness to the trim piece, which I really don't want, I don't think. Well, maybe I do. It's something different there. Um, like I said, this is where it gets kind of hard to see where the door and the frame are different. Let's turn off the snap. So you can see if we made the cutout, there'd be a gap because the frame's over on this side and the door edge is right here, so there'd be actual gap. So back to here, I don't know if changing it to 5 works. Well, 5's not bad because you want a bit of an overlap, right? So that's fine. I guess I'm not thrilled about the thickness, but I guess I can go back and just thin it out a bit. So now we need to go with the Z, and it's going to go down as well as up. So and I'm watching. Remember from the other day, I said I use this as kind of a reference. So I want this top piece to be somewhere around the top of this. So let's put the snap back on. So just from looking at it from here, it might need to come down just a little bit, yeah. Because we'll see this, so we'll see this little piece sticking down. So let's see, 1.85. Oh, what did I change it to? Oh, I changed it to 8.5. Maybe just the 8. Oh, I know. I have to move the bot. I have to realign it. So that I consider that going to be pretty perfect. And again, because we still haven't done the cutout, we don't see it. So, but to uniform, I don't like the thickness, right? Like the sides are way too thick. So I'll probably Probably come in and can I see this together? Oh, I can't do that because it's going to change. It's not the X that was, it's using this whole thing as a, okay, so okay, so like I said, we can tell that we can see where the door is. I remember the bottom had the bigger piece, so that's what we're seeing there. So there is still a bit of a gap for the door to the door frame. X probably needs to be not that much. So hard to figure out where you are and what needs to be, what number increment. Oh, I don't want it touching. So there we go. One bay door with trim. And the beauty of all of this is that Blender's so easy, like a lot of programs are, that once you get one, and again, should I check to see positioning? I don't know, I might move it over, all of it over a little bit. Turn off the snap. Let's just do a copy. And I want to be, well, I got the roof off. So I might, is that the right roof? Yeah. Of course, I can't see where the roof is located. That probably works for me. Okay, so back to 3. Sorry, I don't want to edit it. We don't need the doors in there right now, or the frames. Oh, we need to get rid of the other buildings in the background here. Even the other wall. And let's get rid of the roof while we're here. Okay, so now we go into edit mode and we're going to put some loop cuts in there. Hopefully it's going to be messed up from the... Okay, so we want, let's do the vertical ones first. And we need the snap back on for this. And we want to put one in there. We want to put one in there. And one in there. Come on, where are you? There you go. One in there. While we're doing it, let's go into here. Where is it? Now we'll have another one somewhere in here. Where's this one going to get? So let's do that one, which is a big mess. And I'm going to wait because I'm going to fix, I think I'm going to try fixing that one. Edit the edge. If I can hit the right line. Oh, but it's going to hit all of those. No. Okay, so let's not touch that one. But we don't have. So let's see, grab those two. Let's grab these. Let's do this, and then we want them down here. We don't care about the rest of these. Hope this is not messing up the texture. I bet you it's going to mess up the texture. So now I have this line is horizontal. So if I go and add one for the top of the door, yes, it should be straight now. I said we're going to look and see what it did to the texture in a second here. I don't think the loop cuts have effect like the other way I was doing this. Yeah, so the texture still looks fine as far as I can tell. Back into edit mode, into face, and well, that's the peak. That's why. So we got these four in the bottom. Faces. Faces. No, I just realized I have no bottom line. Remember these go underground. Is that going to be fine? Yeah, because I don't want to have to then figure out a texture for the bottom of this. The door has a texture already, which is fine. Okay. Delete faces. Oh, but I didn't grab the bottom. Yeah, see, there's nothing here. So this is going to change into a concrete floor. I have plans on editing this whole plane, asphalt plane, once I get the size of it, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll put loop cuts in it, and then I'll put, inside, I'll click on the square in here and I'll give it a new texture, which will be the concrete. And then it'll still be asphalt on the outside. Okay, so let's take a look at how our doors look. Not that no, there's no texture on them, so they're just white doors and they don't work. Okay, so pretty easy so far for today compared to the last 2 days, other than getting the file into Blender, or sorry, into Giants was the only problem. So now we have the cutout. So that's what we needed the door done. And now we can move. So we go and find this door, and it already has a nice name on it for this section. It's already been renamed. It needs the scale and rotation needs to be locked in. Okay. And for these, it doesn't matter for as much, but I like to do it, just reset everything to 0 and scale back to 1. I'm gonna do all 4 of the wall, even though the cutout isn't done for this one. Should we do the cutout before? What am I missing? Oh, I want to double check the frame. I don't think the frame's in the way for here. Yeah, it shouldn't be in the way for this at all. Okay. And like we said, we're gonna have to come back now that we have an actual something to move. So I'll probably either add another one that lines up, and it's so close to you can see where the door frame is just shy of that main. But what I'll probably do is copy this, make another copy, and then just shorten it so it only goes between these two sections, and then we'll run something up for the frame to attach, for the door track to attach to make it more realistic. I'm just trying to decide whether we should do the openings on this wall. Actually, I don't even know. I can always re-export them. I needed the walls. I think currently are still the old thickness. So clip distance, shadow, nice. Let's get turned around here. There's my keys. So we already have the updated roof in here, so that's kind of cool. So this is the right roof. Let's just get the stuff all closed up here. So we're working on building 4. The column's gonna go. If I was just showing the frame, but the frame, the steel frame comes all the way out here now. So the roof I'm just gonna hide right now. So we get light. I also want to get rid of the light because the light is causing problems in game. You should never leave a light in. So we're replacing all 4 of these. Okay, so let's go grab them. And hopefully the textures all worked for them. Let's see. Garage door diffuse, I think that's what it's called. That's why it looks so wide. It's meant for a garage door. It came back through with the rigid body, so that's perfect. It doesn't get any shaders. Drag them into its section, and we want roof to be down one. Okay, let's see. Now again, of course, I just deleted the light. I should have left the light in there for until I had this done, but because we can't really see, I don't see any kind of distortion, which normally you can see it in the editor also. Okay, so we can save that. Save it. We can actually jump into game. So in game even, if I go back into in game, and I need to go to my other vehicle. For some reason, I need to be in this section of the mod for the developer tool to work. So I go into here and go into here, and I want to reload. Okay, good, didn't crash. I always leave the truck here, so let's now run around. Speed, it's snowing, which is not good, and my mouse is not responding. Oh my god, my mouse is not responding. My mouse battery must be dying because my mouse is not responding at all. And we'll just take a quick look. Make sure we're not having any, like I said, I'm having such a problem with the texture's looking funny, but I don't see anything wrong with this one at all, other than the texture itself. There's a wave in it, so that's part of the texture, but it's not. And this is, oh my, sorry guys, my mouse is totally not responding. It's a wireless, so it might need new batteries, but also it's a trackball, similar to the one DashNet uses. And sometimes it gets something in front of the lens, but I don't see anything. Well, the light's green, so maybe I was just trying to move too fast. Or the game, that cache thing, I did that MP7 Reaper thing, and the cache is still, I think, trying to catch up. Okay, so that's good. Not happy about the snow. Actually, I want to go check while I'm over here. While I'm in game, I deleted all the apartment buildings, so if we have time today, where are these? I don't even know where any of these things spawn. Okay. Yeah, so there is one that's, what's this one? The shingles is in a cardboard box. Okay. So I can change some of the masters on mine. Same with the bowl. The bowl gets into a box too. Those go into a box. These are just on pallets. So I have wrapping for anything that kind of goes on a pallet. Wrapping would be something good, right? Like these things would be, you know, wrapped in plastic wrap if they were being shipped anywhere. The doghouse, what's the barrels? The barrels, again, there's not much. I think same thing. They would be wrapped in plastic wrap and stuff. All of this stuff. Oh, just too many ideas going on in my head. So there we go. Let's go back. So I'm just gonna stay down here. Hopefully the snow won't last. I did have it snow in game. In my save game, it snowed the whole month. So hopefully it doesn't do that here. So we'll pause that. And now what we do is when we go back into Giants Editor, now we have that file, right? Like we already have that animated file. It's already an i3D, whatever I named it again, right? So it's already an animated or already an i3D that we can now import it directly. And because we've placed it in Blender, we also have the exact coordinates of the door, right? We know exactly where it is. And this is all matches what the Giants Editor has. And again, there's the rotation. So the door has a rotation there. Okay, so but there's nothing when we bring it into the game, I don't think. Do we still have it open? Yeah. Right, there's no rotation there. So where's it getting? Oh, this is the 3-meter one. Sorry, that's not a good example then. Let's just see what happens when we bring it in game, or into the editor, I should say. Doors are getting put in their own section also. So again, this is building 4. And we want the animated door. So now we have the door. Like I said, we'll move it to building 4 just to stay organized. And again, we can't see it because it's come in somewhere over there. So what we need to do is, no, I don't want to split it. I want it half. No, I don't want to. I want it split in half. Okay, so we want the X. And the Y is usually opposite. So let's, or sorry, the Y is usually, or sorry, is the Z here, but it's usually one of them is usually opposite. So oh, and I have the second one, which is not what I want. So we'll finish it and then we'll move it over. Again, I don't have a real preference, but I'm thinking left to right. That's what's in my head right now. So I like how it's taking out the M, the meter. Um, and I just realized I don't even know what I've highlighted here. Is it the frame? Is it the door? Like what am I moving? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It should be the door. Yeah, so I got the door, so that's fine. Because I might have to move it up or down. I'll wait till I get the other one. Let's do the other one. Or let's move this one. Yeah, this is the Y. Move it over. And then we'll copy this, paste it in there, grab the other door again, put the Y, copy. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so what we don't have is the door frame, right? We didn't bring over the door frame, so that's fine for now, for a few seconds here. I wish the editor had more of the snapping stuff because it's always hard to figure out. And I don't even have a plane for this, so that's fine. Okay, so we have the two animated doors, so they do have the animation still because we brought them in with the file, but we'll take that out. But it should still work because we brought in the whole file, so that's fine. Now what we need is the door trim. 2 trim pieces. Right, and I'm just looking to see if they're again, none of this is mandatory, but I just like to keep everything, you try and keep everything. Again, I didn't look, do they need to be, yes, they need to be scaled, reset. Again, I'm kind of rushing through stuff because I'm streaming it. So I always seem to forget a bit more. And we should be fine. These are just like the walls were. We did the clip distance. Yeah. Apply. Now these don't need to go in there. They'll go into the building. Please don't mess up the texture. See, like why the texture's working perfectly fine here, but they couldn't handle a couple screw textures. Building 4, so what we have, I try and think of the order I want stuff to, of course the frame would all come first before the walls, so again, I'm not ready to put the frame in yet, so there's gonna be some reorganization. So now we have the trim. Let's do a save, because we don't have anything else more to do here. Right? So one of the numbers still something, I can see a huge gap and I'm not even zoomed in very far. So the beauty of it is, what do I move? The door or the trim? Right? Do I move the trim back? I can't even tell. I don't like the editor for this thing, is because it has no good zoom, it has no good snapping, and when you're trying to look at it, like I'm trying to look where I'm touching, and I can just see that that it's gone into the frame. But even just moving it, it's just jump, 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 jump. Like I can't. The mouse doesn't have enough sensitivity, I guess. I don't even know which way I'm going here. So it wasn't 3. But this is the only part I do like, is that changing the number makes it responds. Like I don't need to leave the field. So it's 8 something. But zooming in that, like this is one rotation of the mouse, like one of the wheel on the mouse to zoom in and out. I have no other way of changing how I get in there. So what I usually do is I wait. Now I'll go into game, I'll save it and go back into game and see what the spacing looks like. What I can't tell is there still a lip on the outside? I think there's enough. This is why I keep the game open, so that's one thing about keeping the game running while you're doing this. Sometimes it'll crash the game though, so you gotta watch. But it's better now that I figured out how to use just to reload the mod that I'm working on. That makes a big difference now. Before I was reloading all the mods, and that was causing lots of problems when there's so many mods on the map by default. And of course now I can't get inside the building, right? I can't get inside the building. I like that. It looks like there's a bigger gap on this side than there is on this side. Oh, my mouse. What is up with my mouse today? Has to be the battery. See, and even up there, it looks like it's touching the door. But I like seeing more of the metal edge piece, like the end of each section. Again, you don't see this in Blender, how shiny it is. Like the door itself is even how shiny it is until it's in the game. Like if we run around to the other bay doors, oh, I'm gonna hit the wall. Right, like if I look at, I can turn, and with my light on, like you can't even see the trim because I didn't have the width right of the door openings I cut out. So you can just see a little bit of it there. So now comes the fun part. Now comes the fun part. XML. The good thing is I already have it done because it's technically the other doors are the same thing, except all we have to do is add, I don't even think we have to add more sections to it. So like I said, bay doors 1 through 11 are already in here. And they're, like I said, they're done exactly the same. So yeah, okay. I'm trying to, again, me and my OCD, if I go and add these doors, where they're not following this sequence because they're a different size. So I don't really want to call them door 12 and 13, but I guess I can because I've already broken. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's just do that then. So, and you can see oh, I don't have the occluder in there. And this is all of the button. So we didn't bring that over yet either. So we need to do that. So we need to make 2 copies of this. This is going to be 13. And this is going to be 12. Okay, so door 12, and again, the numbering, you just start changing the number. We know this is the source. We named it was 12 meter, right? So we know that. And again, I think I just renamed it as the 12 meter animation i3D. We don't have the includer yet, but we'll make it. We can renumber it. Again, it's just the door that's changing. The part will stay 12. Oh, and some of the trigger. So that's both of the doors. Now we have to come down to the bay door section. So it's huge. And all it takes is one mistake. So many times I've taken out a quotation and it's taken me hours to figure out where the friggin' quotation is. Sometimes it tells you the line, but sometimes it doesn't tell you the line when there's an error. Whoops. Did the auto predict is good when you're writing it, the code it's yourself, but for editing code, it seems it's a real pain in the butt, and I need to remember how to turn it on and off. I know it's probably somewhere in the settings, right? So, now comes the fun part. So it's trying to remember. It's these are all of these bay doors are in probably a different. Okay, so i3D again. We don't need the trim, obviously. Trying to remember what we're referencing, right? So these are all 14.60, and I didn't rename this my route. That's what's throwing me off, right? Here I renamed it Bay Door 01. So it's a 3, not a 6. Where the other one, it's the 10. These aren't 10s. The trigger, I don't have the trigger. Part 1 through. Okay, so I need to add 2 more sections because I have 2 more sections. Oh, I keep going up. I don't know why. Okay, so that's that. Um, no, mine has a lot things differently than the other one because it only has bay door and then each section, where mine has this animation, the route, and that. Hmm. And bay door is what I think I used to reference the. Okay, so that's the trigger. So it's part one that's. Yeah, it's just part one that we use to. Yeah, okay. All good there. I don't have the triggers, I don't have the buttons over there yet, so let's do that. Oops. So that should be the last one. If we open this all up. All of this what is it called? Keyframe. Perfect. Didn't mess anything up there. But I'm noticing somewhere in here, I must have put the controls in here. So the spring, the frame, the trigger, and the switch, they all go in the bottom of it. So So the question is, what side do I want the? So coming in this door, you're gonna want the one of the bay doors. Not that we need to use these bay doors, um, but the switch. Excuse me. I think. Nope, not that one. Okay, they are going that way. So the problem is that they're meant to go on one side of the door and one side of the door only. Height-wise, they should be at the right height because we just copied them over. Well, I had found one in the wall earlier on my other, in building 7, I found one on the wall, or in the wall. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. See, and without a light on, it's so hard to see anything. And again, if I put them in Blender, and then I'd know exactly where they are, but this one seems to be, there we go. And where did the trigger end up? Where in the world is the triggers? Oh, I wonder if well, that didn't work. The trigger inside needs to be, now technically, like I said, these doors aren't really functional. They're functional, but they're not needed to, they're not going to be needed to bring in product. They're just if inside, and you were asking if you're still here, Farmer Marks. Inside this building, I'm going to do um, uh, shelving and put in the visuals of all the products I can put in for the visual palette stuff, which is most of the stuff. I think, like I said, planks long and the steel, I think, are the only two things I can't do because I don't have access to the i3D to do the visuals. Because you need to bring in the palette, and we don't have access to the palette, the i3D file of the palette, so we don't have access to planks long or metal. But the boards, wood, wool, nails, glue. Well, glue's going to go in a silo, and then glass. So even that, there's going to be tons of space inside here, I think. Okay, so we got one door. I just have to make sure the trigger, so I can see the door trigger is here. Okay, and the door button 1. Oh, I'm not doing the right ones here. Sorry, I'm not watching which ones I'm doing here. So I have up 2 in my clipboard. I need to go back to, it's easier when you can put both on the 2 different screens, but not fair to you guys. So as you wouldn't see, or I'm doing half the work. Okay, so, and then button 2, Okay, one door down. Again, we can copy the trigger. Copy the switch. Let's close up that. Okay, so the button and then the trigger. Almost there. A couple more things to do, and then we can test it, and hopefully it works. Error-free the first time. Hopefully. Okay. So that's saved. So on the second door, we still need to go in and fix the trigger. Where's the trigger? No, we don't, because it actually moved it right over, and because we put it inside where the door was, and we copied it out of the other door. So everything should be fine for the door and the switch. Yeah, okay. So those two doors, technically, right, they work. They work right now. No, I broke it already. That's door 7, that's why. Right? I have a working animated door, working still, technically. Okay. And like I said, the switch is there, yeah, okay. So we'll save this. And what we have to do is we have to take, right now this i3D manufacturing factory has the animation file attached, and we need to remove it from the file. So let's close this down. Maximize that. And in here, I need to open it first, and I always go scrolling past it. It's missing. I need to open it. I always pick my favorite brackets here. So then we're just going to scroll all the way down, and here's the door animation that it when we uploaded it. So we're going to remove it from here because we're calling it from the XML. We're calling it into the file, I guess is the best way to put it. And then from here, we then can delete it here. Okay. Moment of truth. Drum roll, anybody? Drum roll. Drum roll. And we did save, oops, just one sec. We did save the XML, right? Yeah. Drum roll, wait for the save. Go back to our out, and I'm gonna throw on the log file to see if we get anything. So nothing happened, no errors, I don't think. Oh, so it didn't work. Didn't reload it. Sometimes when you add too much or make too many changes, it doesn't reload fully, so we might have to go back out of the game. I mean, since we just had a save, which doesn't really matter to me. Go back out of the game. All my unzip files. So, where did it just load? What's this from? Because this is right at the beginning of the log file, those open unzipped folders. That's not mine. Lots of stuff here. What's going on here? Oh, yeah, I didn't add the clue. Okay, so we don't. Let's just get out. So, yeah, I added these, and I don't think I added them. I added them to the production part, but I didn't add them to where they go in and out of. Okay, so let's do the production part first. If I can figure out what I need to do. So like I said, I added wood chips, I added the boosters, and I think I put the wrapping in, but I didn't put it in as somewhere where we can wood chips. Okay, yeah, so they're here for capacity. But the unload trigger. So yeah, I need to add wrapping. Okay, that. Even though technically they're not. And I need to. So. Okay, so wood chips come out through that pipe effect, so I need to figure out the effect nodes. Do I even have them in here anywhere? I didn't put in the door occluders, so those can be added really easily. I don't remember having all this other stuff up there. Oh, these things add discharge node. Okay. And again, back to half screen again. I need to find all the references for those. I don't have it open yet. I have to reopen the file. A lot of work just to put a door in, eh? No, I want the loading station stuff. All my crap open. So loading station is, oh, it's only 10. So we should really, because this is all from somewhere, I should be able to just do this. should work. I should have been able to figure it out because this is 11, which is active, which is where everything gets put into the production, to the factory, right? So, and then the smoke effects go in up there. So that was a 10, 10, 0, 10, 1, 10. Oh, I don't have the marker. Okay, that's fine. So AI is 2, and the trigger was 4, and the AI spline is 5, which I don't know where any of this is anymore. I think it's all in the wall. Okay, so that's fine. And then the pipe effect ones, I don't know what, I can't remember what I needed up there. So let's scroll back up. Right, so somewhere in here we had some, so the node effects, so the pipe one is this one, so it's 10, 3. Should have been able to figure that out also, because it's 11, 10, 3. So that's those. That was one error. I just want to double check that that's how we add in the, yeah, I guess they just split them up because these, obviously we don't actually add this in anywhere. These all go into specific spots. So that should be all fine. There's no, they just have the boosters. They don't have a super booster on those, so that's fine. I don't remember what else was in there other than the occluder. Okay, so let's just keep going along here. So bay door, we should be able to steal one of these. Just don't know why I would have one on bay door 11. Oh, I don't know why. No, that won't work there because it's on the other side, right? Like these only work from one side. They're not a two-way. And again, because we're not able to snap it to anything to get a, and I have no idea where these are supposed to go, like in the placement of the door. Are they supposed to be in the door, in front of the door, behind the door? So I like to put them kind of smack in the middle of the door. This one might actually have to be pulled out because the wall one, when I make the wall occluders for the buildings, it's going to be inside the wall and then there'll be like a gap. So when you're looking at this at an angle, I'll just leave it there. And that might explain in Giants a couple of the buildings I've seen that have doors have them scaled out like quite a bit, so they will go inside. They overlap quite a bit. Okay, so the includers, and they're 15, 815, and 816. Okay, let's close up to production point, and somewhere I'm in the drywall factory, so that doesn't help me. Somewhere in here, I have an occluder section. Okay, I'm just gonna check the log file again because there's no sense starting up the game if there's a bunch of stuff and I didn't want that. And where's the log file one? Oh, it's open. That's not the log file. Main menu. There we go. And that's one of those, not my mod. It says it's from the forestry pack, but it's not. So like I said, I just added all those. Couldn't find my double door. Full glass. I didn't even think I put those in the. Yeah, like the double glass. Where are those coming from? There's nothing even in the building. The double glass doors are inside the building one. Hmm. Interesting. Right, so that's the double door. So that should be the door one. Double full glass door. Oh, double full. The door works, so that makes no sense either. So let's go. So that's here. Oh, see, it's bringing it in twice. Oh, that's building 7. Oh, that's right. One of the doors wasn't working. Of course, it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me which one. So I knew building 1 worked, but I just remembered that when I was testing building 7, the double doors weren't working, which I don't remember why. I never went back and looked to figure out why. So I don't get so it's not telling me it's reference 1. Which is the 5th door. So 1, so it's saying it can't, so at least that's easy to figure out because we can go right to building 1 and we're on reference 1. And it looks right to me. Okay, don't worry about that. Let's see if it works first. It was working door, so oh. And I get this warning for one of the skyscrapers. No idea. Both of them have it. Entry visuals for, and all I did is copy the second one and take out floors. Of course, it's and then we have all the labor stuff again. Okay. A lot of fun, yeah. I just saw a bunch of yellow, but I missed it. I want a test map. That's what I want. I want a test map with all the stuff off of it so it doesn't take so long to load. Didn't you mention that yesterday Farmerworks, about having making a map. That's what I want to do, is take everything off the map first. Start. There's the shapes one for Akoa. I can't say it. Akoa. 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 Mine doesn't give the warning because it's I don't think because it's zipped up. Maybe that's why. I didn't see. Oh, I see red. I don't even know what it means. I don't even know if it's still loading. Error or Lua? It's not telling me. Unknown entry ID 0 object. Yeah, see, it's referencing, which isn't this door. It's referencing the other door, and I know that door. That was the first door I had in here working. And then I added the double doors and the bay doors. So the double doors also aren't working. It's not finding. Did I save it? I don't think I saved it. I didn't save it. Oh, but was I? Oh, I added the occluders, so that's one. I think it's stuck. It hasn't moved in a while. So that was the occluder one, but I didn't save, so that's why that's in there. Right? It's going occluder, occluder, occluder. I can't find it. Oh my gosh. What am I gonna do? That's so weird because we didn't change anything to those doors. Like I said, they weren't working. Because I remember that I got the bay. I added the 3 external doors and then the 2 internal doors. The bay door works, but the 2 double doors don't work inside. They make the sound. And of course, I can't. So there's something there that I've messed up compared to the. Oh, it's messing everything up. Alt F4 because it's not loading the game now. Too much Lua problems. So, like I said, building one door works, but I don't know why it's giving a reference issue there. And then, like I said, I added these 3 doors, the single doors, which we're not seeing any reference problem there. And then when we get to the 2 double doors, so I'm referring to in the building 7. 7 is over here. So in building 7, there's 3 exterior doors which all open. I've had them all open, but there's 2 interior double doors. And when I tested them in game, they don't open. You hear them open, but they don't actually open. But I didn't check the log at that time. And this door has worked as the door. Originally, I had it over here, and then I replaced it with this double glass door for the front door of the office. So I'm wondering if I put, for one, it says it's the source file I can't find the source file. So first of all, let's go here. So it's not the full glass, it's double door with the glass. So let's open it. Because when it's open, we can also see what we named the source. animation file. All of this I've learned just by watching Shy Wizard's YouTube videos on how to put the animation in here. That's all I've gotten it from. Okay, so let's look. This is our double glass door. It has the little glass panes, which I'm probably gonna have to swap out because the glass is really dark. And we can see it works, so that's fine. So it's, I can't copy from here, so it's just double glass door. Where am I going? That's the i3D part. So this is all the production. Where's the productions? Animated, bay. Let's close the bay doors. We couldn't even get to test them, so. So I already see I didn't change the source file, which I don't know why it can't find it, but it doesn't match the i3D animation either. My gosh, must be I'm a noob. My gosh. So it's double glass door, no plural. And which ones are? I had one where I capitalized the S for source early one of my other things I was working on, and I'm like, oh my god, like, glass source, and right now I can see it's called double. That's gonna cause a lot of problems. Door animation, so that part's right. And that's probably the whole problem right there because it can't find the file, can't find the source, and it's probably throwing off the other. I don't know what's causing. We got the occluders, which I probably don't. Oh no, I took the occluders out for this because they don't need any occluder. But I think they're still there. No, I don't remember. Right, it was reference one. It said something about reference one, but I'm not sure. Um, no, I don't have 4 or 5. Okay, perfect. So that's not there. We got that saved. I'm wondering if that fixed everything. Double door. And then I just numbered them to the frame 7, 5, and then frame is 0, 1. Right? It just needs to reference the first piece of it, which is, again, that's not in the mod, but that's what I'm referencing. Double door 0, 4. And then the second frame, so everything should be fine because it's just, and it's 15 that changes. So hopefully it was just that source stuff. Ready for another try. Like I said, all that yellow is coming from one of those 82 Studio mods that puts its own fill type section in, I think, which I haven't figured out which one it is. We're already at 66% already. Wow, it's just going so fast till it hits my mods. And Triwizard did the pump jack totally different than the way he did the doors. They look totally different. But I'm hoping I can figure out that part too. Yeah, see, they're all, you can see right now, if you can see the log, they're all locked behind, all their palettes are locked behind the DLC, so I can't access this i3D to bring it into, I have to bring it into the editor, and then I just copy the palette, and that's how we get the visuals in the game, in the mod. So I don't have access to any of these i3D palettes. And there was no errors, I didn't see any errors. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any red. I wish the page up actually did page up rather than just scrolling up. There's just so much. Dave says he's got all this Lua scripting stuff taken out of his log. It's all coming from the revamp stuff, I think. Yeah, like wow, I got rid of all of that, just those little typos. Really, copy pasting and not paying attention to what I was copying. It must have been late at night I did that. Yeah, we're well past the mod. Like this is just all in-game stuff, part of the map files. My mods, all my unzip mods are still coming up. All right, so this is a mod. I don't know, like I said, I don't know which one is, it's one of the 82 Studios one that adds all these fill types. Or is trying to add, referencing fill types that we don't have added to the map. That's what it's referencing. So that's not a big deal. I still don't know where this is coming from because I can't figure out what mod it's coming from, but it's not, whatever mod it is, it's not displaying the mod title, so that's not a big deal. It could be one of mine, but because I do change the mod description on, or to put my own name on my mod, so yeah, that got rid of anything up here. I know the only thing that comes up next is my unzipped ones, right? That's the 82 Studio one. And then we have my unzipped ones. Yeah, so wow, that got rid of everything. So I'm just going back to the bottom. Sorry. Like I said, I wish this thing had a better way of getting up and down rather than just sitting here holding the key. Come on. The only reason I'm doing this is so when I test the doors, I can see right away if there's anything happening. But from my experience right now, it's very limited on this animation stuff. We should any errors triggering it won't, like turning it, making it go up and down. It shouldn't trigger anything because it would have already triggered an error in it here. Because all it's doing is referencing a file that we already know works because we have it open and the animation works. So okay. We'll figure out what we're doing here. We don't want that on. We turn that off till we get there. Oh, I said, well, now I can go inside the building. That's right, I can. So that's not a good sign. Like what the? What the? So the doors are one section's here. What? I've never even seen that. The door is partially open. Well, but I did a good job placing the trigger. Wow, I don't even know what to say. Like I said, I don't have much experience doing this, but I have no idea why they're rotated. Two sections are up there, and one's up even further. And there was no errors. Right? Like there's two sections not even moving. Well, before I go, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. That's frustrating. There has to be something. Good thing. The thing is I still have it in Blender, right? It's not like it's been deleted. It's there, so. And yeah, the collisions are not movable. Okay, so that's a fix. And this one will do the same thing probably. I got hit by the door. Like I said, I didn't have to do anything with these doors. No texturing, nothing. All I did is follow. But the glass isn't see-through. It looks like safety glass, so maybe I shouldn't be able to see through it. Like I said, these doors. Hmm. Um. Oh. I just realized on the one thing at a time here, focus on one thing at a time here. Let's just fix these. See, it's this. I was expecting somewhere in here that the rotate. So that's where we're getting the door came in and it's thinks it needs to be, or the root thinks it needs to be rotated because that makes sense of what it's doing, right? So if I just went and zeroed this out, that's what we're looking at pretty much, right? So let's go into edit, freeze transforms. Well, it doesn't matter, that's there. See, and it messed it all up. And I'm pretty sure, oh, I can't undo it. No. So where is the beep and rotation coming from? Right, there's no rotation here. Only thing I can think of is, let's see this. Let's see, like I said, I usually work on the x-axis, and this one was working on the y-axis. So I'm wondering, yeah, again, Giants flips it all around. The editor flips it around. No, this is on the y also. That theory's out the window. Yeah, the only I can think of, again, I don't think a name matters, but I'm just stumped. Oh, what am I touching right now that has this? Oh, the whatchamacallit, the plane, which I use to help line up the bones. Yeah, I am stumped. I have no idea why it's rotating it. What about in the, well, we didn't take it out of here, right? So Did we have to rotate the frame in that? Do I have that open? I still have it open, don't I? No. So it came in, we loaded it in with the rotation. So yeah, it's not there. And there it is. I don't think it'll let me change it, right? Or that's what it's doing because the game is zeroing it out. Why it's impacting the other sections, I have no idea. And I don't think see it puts it at 0. I thought it was supposed to just reset everything to 0, but it's not. I don't know where that 90 is coming from. Hmm. I'm not sure. Not sure. The only thing I can think of is before when I joined everything together, that there was an X90 in there. I don't know. Again, there's the bone. It's not the bones. It has to be. I don't know if that would do anything. No idea what that means. There's something about I remember something in Shy Wizard's visit video that he said something about making sure the names are all different. I just realized I still have the file open. And that means I just undid all of this. Oh man. I should have done part 2. Yeah, so I can still fix this. So let's say yes to saving. And I'm going to rename this second one. Oh, I don't think that's going to work. Because I want the animation for this new door, but I want I can import the screws and stuff from the second one. I just don't know if it's going to mess up the animation if I import a file with something with animation. Oh, but I guess I could delete that animation first. Anybody following what I'm talking about? I didn't notice if we got an error or not. I don't think I clicked it too fast, I think. There we go. So my plan is to open up the new file, and then import the old one without the animation. So I'm going to take the animation out of it. So it doesn't, hopefully that way it won't mess up anything that's there. Delete this. And we're looking to first, I guess I should have waited to see if there was any change. still has. And it's funny, the root doesn't have it the. Well, this one is the one that, yeah, this is the dummy one. Okay, so let's. I said I don't know why I'm getting duplicates. Yeah, because there's the. And like I said, the root has the 90 still, so it didn't change anything. I don't know what to say, chat. I have no idea what to do. Hey, J Booth. We've been working 3 days on an animated door and it's working. It works. But when I put it in the game, it turns at 90 degrees because of this 90 that is somewhere. I don't know where it comes from, but it's in the i3D. And then the game zeroes it out and it turns it on its side. So the game turns it like that, and then it opens and closes. But I don't know where the 90 is coming from. It's not in my Blender record anywhere. There's no 90. No 90 anywhere. It says it's on the root, but the root's got nothing here either, so I don't know. I don't know what's. Yeah, I know Giants. It is a Giants thing that the rotation in that should be zeroed out on some things. So I'm guessing on the animation somewhere there must have been when these pieces were all separate, there must have been something that had a 90 on it, and I didn't catch it, and it's still in now that it's all one piece. That's the only thing I can think of is that something on here had a 90 in it, and it's still in there somewhere. It's that root. I wonder if I can get rid of the root, because I didn't do a root on this one. I just realized I have door 01 and all the bones are by themselves. That's interesting. Right, at this point I'll try anything because right now I definitely don't want to spend another 3 days. I just don't know how to get rid of the root, without getting rid of everything else. Yeah, I'm like that right now too. This project I've been working on since before the map was released on where is it? On my factory, right? My factory I've been working on since before the map release. PV Canyon Crossing was released. I was working on this factory. I've only been really going crazy on it for about the last month and a half or so. In July, I did a whole other project, buildable project that I haven't released yet. But this one may be too big and it may actually not even work when it's completed. I'm not sure. I'm getting kind of worried. Yeah, and it's been multiple projects, right? Like when the map released, I went and did the mining silo, the orchard silo, the shed pack and stuff like that was all stuff that was being worked on while Dave was working on the map at the end there when he was going crazy at the end before he released it. It was all things I was working on. But I needed the products. I didn't know all the final products until he released the map. And then I worked on, what else did I work on? The Sugar Shack for NBC I did. And then Darius's Donut Factory was a building I did, but didn't, I was going to use it for this, but I said I was too small. And then I found this model. So, and then I've been working on this. And then I have a couple of buildable projects that are, one's complete. I just got to fix a couple things. I can show that off. Because I'm kind of frustrated at this right now. I don't want to, I don't want to touch it right now. I just want to walk away. But I'm thinking the door, yeah, like I don't know if there's difference between the two doors right now, right? I have this new door that I just did, and if I look back at the other door that works fine, there's a difference. So I'm wondering if that's this root is causing a problem. But if we go into game, just if you haven't been here before, this is the one bay door. And again, this is following Shy Wizard's YouTube videos. He did a video with a door very similar to this. It might be the same Turbo Squid door, I'm not sure. But I have this door. I have the single doors. I have a left and a right open door. So these doors over here, they're all from the same pack. This is the lefted one. I had to make it my own. And again, I still have a bit of the hinge. I didn't want to play around with the texture. I have custom switches that I got, so they light up. The buttons push in and out. Can't quite see it, but they actually do go in and out. You can see when it stops, the buttons push in and out. I built my own custom pushers using, again, the animation stuff that I learned from Shy Wizard. So when the pallets are spawned out, the conveyor moves. And I have the pusher going really slow, so it doesn't jam up any of the pallets. So this is building number 7 out of 10 buildings in the mod. This factory is meant to work really well with the Hispano containers, because you'll be able to spawn out and they'll spawn right to the end and they'll just load right into the factor, into the container. Building number 7 is about the only one I have completed, or pretty much complete. There's no lights in it yet, but that's minor. Let's go over back. We're working on this side of the building. We're working on the doors right here today, the whole weekend. Like I said, they're turning 90 degrees. They still work. But 2 of the sections, one section stays here and the other one is up there. So section 1 and 2 are messed up. I have no idea why. Yeah, but it doesn't explain this. Like, why are 2 sections staying over here and the other 2 they're supposed to be over here? I don't get that. Even the hinges are staying. Oh, I guess they're all one piece, but I don't get that at all. Like I said, I must have missed something before I joined it all when I was building it. But it works by itself perfectly fine. So I don't get that. I can see the 90, but I can't zero it out in the model. It won't let me. So that's, like I said, 6 hours on Saturday, 6 hours on, actually 10 hours on Sunday. Yesterday, I think I streamed for 6 hours and then I worked 4 hours after I streamed to finish up that door. So I'm just gonna see if we can do. So the other project that like I said, has been ready for a while. I just haven't. There's a couple of tweaks I need to do on it. So if we go into the houses, I have 5 small apartments, like 5, or I think they're 5-story buildings. Which way do I need to go here? Another way, over here. Of course, it's snowed, so now I can't see where I need to place them. There we go. So we have 5 of these. They're 5 different ones. I know it's so frustrating, right? Like, but it's something that I probably can't just go in and edit. I probably have to start over because it's something that's now been locked up into the. So like I said, there's 5 of these. They're all different materials. So there's 2 brick. Sorry, there's 2 brick, 2 stone, and then one that's 2 blocks, and then one that's whatchamacallit, stone. And then I have apartment buildings. So I have I think I don't remember how many stories it is again. I forgot already. It's been a couple months since I finished these. So there's apartment 1 and apartment 2 is about 5 stories higher. And they're all buildable. And I'm facing them the wrong way, I just realized. Facing them the wrong way, that doesn't help. So we have those 2, and they're both buildable. It's kind of funny because I included the cluder, and then there's the big grand finale, which I don't know if I have enough room to show this off here. Oh, the snap. I had the snap on before I turned the game off. This one's kind of hard, of course, because it's large. Yeah, this like I just wanted something else to use the products for, right? Like after you've built the factory and it starts producing like glass and nails and stuff like that, all you're doing is selling a lot of it. So these are, if I can remember where I need to go to do this. These are I'm trying to think. I think I've already got the animal stuff loaded up. So they have the bonus of the animal change that Dave and Billy did to give it a boost. You get a boost from putting the whatever animal rescue animals I think it is in here. So they get delivered automatically, right? And then we'll speed up time here because time is already sped up. So. I didn't do the other one. Oops, that's what I didn't want to do. Hit the save. So you're getting a sneak peek because I haven't shown the building of this at all. A couple people saw it on the weekend that hung around, and then I think I've shown them off one other day. And I meant to be this pack I wanted to have out before in the middle of July, but I just didn't. I just couldn't get it, and then I realized there's a couple things that needed to be tweaked. A couple of the fences for some reason don't disappear, so you can see the flickering, and it's because of the occluder time. And because the occluder's there already, the building kind of flickers, but it's kind of neat because if you're walking around, it actually starts to block out the other building. See how it's blocking out the other apartment building, the factory's getting blocked out. So you know the occluder's working. Yeah, it's something about the cats and dogs, like the rescue building. I've only got I don't even have a full year in the game yet in my save game. That's how much I've stayed. I've been stuck in Blender. So you can, like I said, the occluder is kind of wacky. Like it's because it's there all the way up. The whole building has an occluder mesh on it, right? And then we're missing this one, same thing. You can see how the snow is kind of funny. I think I just need to figure out where to put the occluder, like put it in as part of the building section in the i3D. needs to be included so it doesn't get put in right away. Because it has to be in that Invis group, whatever group you have is the buildable one. And the 3 building one takes a long time to build. Actually, sorry, it takes about the same time to build, so it builds a little bit faster. But I started it last, so. And I like to have lights. If you notice, I like to have lights showing off, so in case you do drive by the building, you can kind of see it in the dark. And of course, the light disappears after. But for some reason, this fence, this one section along the back is not disappearing. I have no idea why. It would be in the same group as all the fence pieces. So I have to go in and look. And then for the small apartment buildings, for some reason the trigger box isn't disappearing. So again, I must have not put it in the right section. And this is a gated community, so this fence doesn't disappear. You can see that there's a gate right here that opens and closes, and there's no parking on site, but you can go in and repaint the grass down. I think I did that correctly. And I really wanted to have this build all together, but if you look at the i3D, there is just so many pieces, and there's no interior. There's no interior to this building. And there's just thousands of pieces to it, to the model. So to try and figure out which, like to break it down into different sections, all I did is take the short building and copy it in 3 times and then load it and then, put in the rest. So these, I didn't really show you I tried to not go too crazy. Like realistically, they use like a lot of the DLC stuff, right? The forestry DLC, because we have no use for these. So I put them in the towers and the skyscrapers along with some of the other materials. I did actually price this out. There's a couple. You're putting I think it's about $3 million worth of product to build these things. So that's why they're also very cheap. If you notice, they're only, I think it was the most expensive one is like 400,000, and that's because you're spending millions of dollars in product to build them. And I also reduced them, some of these, right? Like realistically, I wanted to have a bathroom for every technical suite that's in the building, but that's way too expensive. Like bathtub and table and chairs and all that just got ridiculously expensive. So like I said, these are a couple $1 million worth of product going into them to build them. So I made everything just minimal. And they're not too bad. I think we're, like I said, we're over the halfway mark. We started I think it was about 1,700. So just over 12 hours so far. This one will build faster, I think. Well, they're all pretty much the same time scale, I think. All you do is add more product. I don't really adjust the time, so. So this pack, I'm gonna try focusing on this probably next weekend, and try and get it out for release, or else people are just gonna have, too much of the other stuff. These also obviously have a little bit more of a boost over the other houses that Dave has in the map. I have them over here. There's my shed pack, if you're not familiar with the shed pack. Here's the 5 over here too. I have them all over the place. So like I said, there's a brick one, there's a block one. This is the other brick one. This is the stone one, and another block one. So those are the primary materials, along with concrete. So again, my factory really isn't that big. Like I don't think it's any bigger than any of the other factories that are in game. It just has a lot more buildings, a lot more going on in it. a lot of work to do. A lot of it's in Blender still and not in the game. I haven't moved a lot of it over. Like this building, which is building number 1, is the main office building, and I have a whole bunch of the interior done. I was working on displays today. And I did that shader thing that Billy was talking about, that MP7 Reaper did. Talks about the clearing your cache and your J cache and all that, and my game is still trying to catch up with all that re-rendering in. Oops, I was inside that one. So we're getting really close, I think. Again, I have some custom air conditioners that I found online. They're animated. I did all the texturing. They had no texture, so it's my own. Like I said, I found the model online, and then it had no texture, so I had to texture it. But they're high poly, so they add a lot of triangles to the mod. But they have animated fans, so if you actually are flying up this high, they have some animated fans. We don't. Oh, this one's finished because it's gone, so that's good. It's funny how that one was put down last and it finished first. Oh, but I put the product in first, so I guess that's why. Must be getting close. Oh, I wanted to end before it got dark. Dang it. So you can see the lights coming on. So I did 2 different lighting. So this one, you can see how some of the glass is a little bit illuminated. Just different ways you can do the lighting. It's not as dramatic as, say, this one, but this one is totally done different. The towers, every piece of glass is separate, so it renders in or goes into the separately. So this one's different. These all go in floors, so and 2 sections. So all the lighted windows are, in the i3D, they're done differently, and they're referenced to the night cycle. I don't know why the stuff hasn't disappeared. It can't be that far behind. Oh, it's stuck, I bet. That's the problem with going too fast, right? It doesn't have enough. One of them. That's why I love doing the testing here, right? Which one was it again? Oh, did it go? Yeah, no. Oh, it was top of the hour. That's what it was. See, and I can't even, or am I on top of the trigger? Can't even add more stuff into it. Oh, it just went down. It's just so slow at some part. Some of them. So they're all of them right now have the one sign, Canyon Crossing Tower, but they're gonna change to like Tower 1, 2, 3. Yeah, again, there's just some minor things I still have to play around with. I wanted to figure out if I could get the water fount animation, like some sort of waterfall, but I have no idea how to do water even, like even to put water plane in here. Okay, so those ones are gone now. And like I said, there's a section of fence. Oh, well, it's not here on this time. Well, I must have fixed it. Maybe I did. There's no fence. There was fence back here, I swear. What about the trigger? Is it gone up here too? Okay. Must have been something that I fixed and I didn't delete the buildings. So like I said, the glass is done, the illumination is done totally different on on these. They're actually, the texture has the illumination setting, the glow settings on there, where this doesn't. And then I have storefronts, and yeah, they're just, I think they both have the same sign. I never finished updating the signs. Oh, Guy for Weeks. Thanks for the follow. I'm terrible with names. Thank God we don't have to apply for names to. Thanks for the follow. Did I get a raid or something? All of a sudden I have a whole bunch more viewers, I think. I'll just get back up to daylight here. I'm not going to stream much longer. I got to work in the morning. For users that have just joined, I was just showing off the buildable pack that I was working on or have been working on. I thought I had some tweaking to do, but I don't seem to see the. I thought there was some stuff that wasn't disappearing. They even have the nice, oh, and the lights just went off, so you can see that all of the lit up windows are gone. This one works differently. It works on a different time. It actually has a time in the XML that tells it when to turn the lights off. So it's set, I can't remember what it said, or 7 or 7:30. Can't remember. I just copy paste stuff. So yeah, so watch for this pack. Like I said, I'm going to try having it neither. I don't think I need to tweak it anymore. I thought I had to play around with it, but I don't think I do. I don't see any problems with it now. Yeah, it's all. I'm gonna say watch a lot of YouTube. I do have a bit of a. I have drafting background. Not that I've worked in the industry, but I have like school. I went through high school taking drafting, advanced. I have an architectural technology diploma that I don't use or haven't never used. I've always played around with AutoCAD throughout the years of having a computer because I love woodworking and stuff like that. So the construction part of it, I just think about how things need to be put together. So, and this is a model. Like I found it online, and I had to build it. I just used the model as a reference. So it's a model. It was a picture I saw on TurboSquid, and I'm like, I'm not paying $80 for a model that might not work. So I just had the picture on my screen, and I just figured out the heights. The one good thing about Blender is if you use real world measurements, it works fine in Blender in the game. Like if you have a 12-meter door, it's a 12-meter door, right? That's a 12-meter door wide door, which sounds really big, but in game it seems to work, right? Like the truck doesn't look too bad. These are 3-meter doors, which is like a 9-foot door, right? So that container looks perfect to me. I'm not in the industry, but to me that looks pretty good, right size to me. So, and then for Blender, like I said, I started watching just Blender videos on YouTube, and they have nothing to do with this game at all, right? Like nothing to do, just on how to create objects in Blender. That's really what I've watched. And now I've learned a lot more that what I can take from the internet, like TurboSquid, for an example, like this framework that we're looking at. This is from a model I found on TurboSquid, and I know how to take it from import the file. I know how to cut it up, and it's been stretched to fit, and I can copy sections to make it more copies of it, and that's all it is. It's copy paste, copy paste. It works the same way as any kind of program. Once you have a model, something in here, right? I'm where the displays, where are the displays from? Anybody know where my control panels are from? Can anybody tell me right off the bat? If they're in game right now, where are they from? The words are not from. They're from my other one of my other mods, but this stand is from in game. It's in a mod that's in game right now. So if you've been inside the PMS building, this is inside the PMS. They have all the products, each product displayed on there. And all I did is this is from the washer. So if you have my truck shop and you'll go over to the washer, all I did is change the name. I just went into the texture file and changed the words. And then it still says start. Whoops, I got too fast here. Come on. It still says start, and then when it's running, that's what it says when the washer's running. Yeah, PMS, they're from PMS. The pusher is my own. Again, it was a model I saw, and I just went, okay, I need this block, and I need the arm. I added the red, which I don't know why it renders in and out. Haven't figured out why it's flickering. I don't know if it's something to do with my settings. I have no idea. It makes no sense why it would flicker. It's not moving, or it's moving, but anything else that moves doesn't flicker, so I don't know. And the red is a light, so it lights up while it's moving, and then it'll turn off like there's no red here. Yeah, like I said, this is all from another the steel. Like I could have done this myself. Like I know how to make an I-beam and put it in the game. Like I did it with the truck shop. If you look at the truck shop steel frame, that's all me making an I-beam, and I have this has fancy connectors, but I have bolts in that, which this has bolts. I don't think it has any on the bottom. And then the triggers. And again, this is from this switch came from the same model I got the steel frame from, and then I just broke it down and I made the buttons so they move, so we can just see the buttons move in and out, and I added the coloring to it. Yeah, like it's like I said, I've totally just gotten crazy since the wooden bridge. The bridge started it all. Dave's like, I need a bridge, and I'm like, I think I could do a bridge. Oh my god. And the bridge, 100% of it, or 99% of it, was built in the editor, and all I would do is make a piece in Blender, and then I would import it or export it into the editor, and then I would move it around and just copy paste. And now 99% of it's done in Blender, and then it's just moved into the editor, and then the i3D indexing. And that's what September from the bridge. I gave Dave the bridge in November, I think it was around there. And it only took me a couple weeks to do the bridge because there wasn't much to it. They're just steel beam or wooden beams, and the hardest part was the railing. I think the railing took me the longest to do. Right? If we go over to the famous wooden bridge, right? So these are all the same piece of wood, right? There again, you just copy it, stretch it, move it, and again the blocks are the same thing. This, like I said, this took a while, the railing, because it's one long piece, or not one long piece, but there's sections, and the bridge curves. Now, if I had to redo this, I would it'd be a totally different look to it. And then of course, I don't think I have the Bascule bridge in here. I don't think it's over here. It's over here, but it's not built, and it's in the middle of the water, so. But the Bascule Bridge, I wanted to do that one right away, but I couldn't find any kind of model. And the only piece of it that's still part of a model that I found of a bridge is the actual steel frame and parts of it. So, but yeah, I have so many ideas, and the animation stuff that might be possible if I don't have any more sideway doors. I'm just gonna spend a couple more minutes. Like I said, I need to. I have some of the other stuff still open. So this was 2 weeks ago. So this is an in-game piece. This is from in one of the bio plants, this control panel. I've added these control panels and then found, images online to put in here. I'm working on my own display stuff for my different divisions of my factory. This past Friday during Boom, oops, where did it go? It's on the other screen. On Boom stream on Friday night, this is what I was working on while he was streaming. So again, you may recognize the conveyor belts. They're everywhere. This piece, again, anybody in chat? Who do we got? A few people in chat. Anybody guess where this is? In game, it's from an in-game mod. I have altered it, but it did originally start. It didn't look like this. It was all one color. So I've retextured it. Recreated the pulleys so I can animate them. I added a motor. Like I said, I retextured it. And again, you just saw how we can animate the conveyor belt system when it's turned on, so I can do that. Yeah, it's from the drywall. You were here yesterday. That's no fair, Farmer Marks. You were here yesterday. Um, yeah, so it's from the drywall. So I don't think I have the drywall open anymore. I have PMS open now. Oh, I do have it's just on my other screen. Here it is. So it's most of it is underground. I don't know where the ground level is, but it literally the ground is most of this is underground. So all of this is underground. All you see is the hopper in the drywall factory. And I just found it because I was in here looking at the sound boxes one day, and I was in the game, and I don't really go into this building. But there's some animation in here, so I was trying to figure out how they did the animation. So I took this piece. You can see it's still highlighted from when I chopped it out on Friday. So I just exported it out and put it into Blender. And like I said, I took the top off, filled in the hole that it left, and then I just added color to it, added textures to it. So now it's going to be all of the products that my factory make are using wood planks or the planks long or whatever. So I'm going to try and do, large boards coming in and then cut up small pieces coming out for like the chair, the picture frame, those kind of projects, right? Like the bathtub uses small pieces of wood, the barrel, the bucket, all of those things use small pieces of wood. So they're gonna come in as large pieces from the pallets, and then I'm just gonna try and figure out how to animate them. Like I know I could do it in Blender, no problem. Whether it works in Giants, I have no idea. But in theory, it should. The only problem is when you're using a door trigger, like I saw the pump jack. So the pump jack's meant to be to work when the production's working, the animation's working. So and it loops. So how do I make a board that moves through here and stops and then loops back? Like there's no looping in the animation, right? Like there's no possible unless I have it go down below the ground and then somehow pop up at the beginning, right? So there's no way to make it go invisible and pop back up as far as I know. Like again, don't know everything, but just from what I know, I can't figure that part out yet. So that part of the animation is kind of weird. The drywall factory, it just starts over, like it just does a scrolling animation and then goes back to the beginning. So you do see that kind of stuttering going back and forth from what I know. So these are the two weekend projects. Like I said, this was Friday night during Boom stream. I was listening to him get killed off a few times. And this is what I came up with on Friday. And then the previous weekend was the control box, right? And then this weekend was my second attempt at a door. And like I said, it works fine in here. If I can find, oh, no, I don't have the, works fine in here. Gotta turn the other door off. It's, right, it looks fine in here. And the plane, where's the plane? Right, there's no, so like I said, I find so many things easier to do in Blender than when you go to put them in Giants. It just doesn't work. So I'm not sure. This root node is what has the 90-degree X thing, but it's not in here. So when you click on the root, there's no 90, but somehow when it goes into the editor, it has a 90. So my plan is now is to try and get rid of the root because it's not what I had on my other one. So my other one doesn't have a root It just goes straight from the door to sections 1 through 7. So that's the only difference between the two doors that I can see. And somewhere in Giants is putting that 90 in when it goes into the editor. So I never played 19, so yeah, I don't know. I've watched a few videos for 19, so it sounds like the what was that modding group? They helped a lot. I think they had something. Yeah, the animation in 22, there's nothing. Like you can do like basic rotation, like that works really fine for factories wise. Factory wise, as far as I know, the animation is based on triggers. So trigger, you can trigger, but like the door animation, a door, when you use the door trigger, it's meant to go open and then close. So when you hit the close, that's what happens with my bridges, with the bascule bridge. If you've ever had it close and then open again, it's because the door is a door trigger and the door is meant to open and close. So if you use one trigger to open it and then go to use the other side to close it, or the water trigger to move it, it will close and then open and then close again. Like it's kind of weird. And it's because I guess the way the triggers works in the game, right? Like it's more like you need to use, I was going to try using the light switch one because the light switch would be like an on off kind of thing. So I don't know, but it's just the way the trigger works. That's why I was trying to do the animation files, because you just reference them and they work a little bit easier. The trigger works differently, or I guess the same, but the pusher was like that. I was trying to make the pusher push and then go open. How do I get the bridge to open? It's a door. It's pretty much a door turned on its side. There are two doors actually, a double door, like the double door. If you've been watching the double door, it's pretty much a double door turned on its side. That's how it works. You just have to make sure the axis is in the right spot. And all I did is put in a cylinder and then I hit it. It's hidden. It's a hidden object in the bridge. But it's not done like this. It's all done through keyframes, which is in the XML. So in here, in the XML, when you they're called keyframes. So keyframe, and then you just put in the time and then the position. This is changing. This is telling this to go invisible. So this is the includer. So it's telling it to go in to be visible, and then as soon as the door starts to open, it tells it to disappear and go invisible. But it works the same way to animate an object using the XML rather than using the source animation that I'm creating in Blender. So you just do keyframes. I don't have any keyframes in here to show you. They're all animated source files in this mod. So in the drywall factory, this is how it's done normally, or the animation's done. So you'd reference the section of the door. So this is section 1, this is section 2, 3, and then you tell it at this time. So at 0 time, this is your position. So at rest, this is the position. There's no rotation. At this time, you want it to be, and the Y is the vertical. So the middle number is the vertical. So it continually moves up until it gets to 1, and that's the final height, and it has a rotation of 45 degrees. And then you do the same, and it changes slightly, because again, section 1's at the top of this, I'm assuming, without opening the model, because it has the highest number. Or maybe not, it's the starting height too is different. So again, you just tell it at every increment, every time between 0 and 1, you just tell it how high you want it to move up, and if it needs to start rotating, it starts rotating. Right? So there's 6 sections, and you have to go in and the hard part is getting the position and the rotation right, so it looks like it's opening properly. So the bridge was done the same way. It was done through putting in timestamp and then what position and what angle, or what the starting angle was and the ending angle was. Well, thanks for everybody coming out. I don't know if we want to go over and watch Boom. What do you guys want to do? I don't have anybody else playing Farm Sim, and I'm definitely not following anybody that's streaming Blender, which I found out is actually a thing. I'm streaming Blender, but I didn't know it was an actual thing. Any suggestions? Want to go raid Boom? That's probably where I'll go anyway, because I usually hang out and watch him. Thanks, Hectic. Thanks for stopping by. I didn't even notice the name. All green. Boom, boom. Okay. I know that most of the time, the reason I'm not streaming is because I'm busy watching one of these guys, and especially watching them with the 7 Days to Die. It's like, oh my God, you guys. Punishment. Oh, and what's Boom's 2 underscores? I never remember. Woohoo, it worked. Okay, we'll go over there. I know, right? It's watching. Boom's the best one to watch. I missed it all today. Okay, we'll see everybody over there. Thanks for stopping by. Not sure. I don't have a set schedule. It might be Thursday, but definitely on the weekend if I get things done around the house. I'll be back on the weekend. Okay, so let's go over to Boom, see what he's up to.